The United Kingdom, also known as the UK, is Europe's largest island and is located on the northwestern coast of Europe. Consisting of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, it is twice the size of New York State. The total population of the country is 65.7 million, with a median population age of 40. The median age of men is 39 and 42 for women. 49% of the population is male, leaving the remaining 51% to be female. The main economic sector of the UK are services, manufacturing, and construction. Over the past 6 years, the performance of these three sectors has helped the UK to experience its largest growth in the G20. The unemployment rate is at an all-time low of 6.3%. The ethnic breakdown of the country is white at 87.2%, Black, African, Caribbean, Black British 3%, Asian British 2.3%, Indian at 1.9%, and other at 5.6%. The religious breakdown is Christian, which includes Anglican, Roman Catholic, Presbyterian, and Methodist at 59.5%, Muslim at 4.4%, Hindu 1.3%, other is at 2%, none 25.7%, and unspecified is at 7.2%. The British political system is ruled by a monarch. The monarch is the head of state and is responsible for appointing the UK's head of government, the Prime Minister. There are three arms of the state: the executive, legislature, and judiciary. Unlike the US, where there is a clear separation of power of the three arms of state, not allowing an individual to be a member of more than one, the UK is different. All ministers in the government are members of the legislature. The rule of law is well established within an independent legal framework. Private property rights and contracts are very secure. Corruption is at a new minimum due to the Anti-Bribery Act of 2011. This act has been said to be one of the most stringent around. It was originally benchmarked off of the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The overall country score for the UK is 76.4, scoring significantly higher than both the region and world average.
The United Kingdom is the third largest economy in Europe. Its economic freedom it has scores 76, meaning that the economy is mostly free and has been so over time. GDP per purchasing power parity is at 2.5 trillion compared to the United States at 17.4 trillion. The per capita of the GDP is approximately 39,000. Inflation rates for the United Kingdom are low at 0.1% based on 2015 values, but have escalated as high as 5% in 2011 due to the recession that started in 2009. The United Kingdom exports around 442 billion in products and services based on 2015 values. These industries include manufacturing, gyms, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, and oil. The United Kingdom imports approximately $617 billion in goods and services. The primary import partners are Germany, China, United States, and Netherlands. There is now growing concern about the stability of the United Kingdom economy. The United Kingdom voted in June of this year to leave the European Union. The UK will need to establish new agreements with countries in relation to trade and also with the European Union. The Human Development Index for the UK is 0.907 and the rank is 14th. Over the past 20 years, the Human Development Index value has remained stable and is very comparable to the United States. The UK is the fourth largest recipient of FDI. Two reasons over the past couple of years for increased FDI is that the UK is a strong financial capital and it has strong currency. This will continue to be watched as the UK's decisions to leave the European Union may change relations to FDI.
Concerning the foreign exchange rate of the UK, the British pound to the US dollar is driven by the performance of the UK's economy relative to that of the US. The UK remains the strongest economy in Europe. The outlook for the British pound to the US dollar exchange rate remained bleak after the financial crisis of 2008. The long-term chart shows the British pound is nowhere near its pre-recession peak of $2.08. After the 2008 high, the British pound fell sharply, declining 35%. Since that date, the British pound has partially recovered, but largely remained range-bound. From 2009 to 2015, the British pound has stayed between US $1.42 and $1.71. There are many languages across the UK. It is estimated that over 95% of the British population are monolingual English speakers. There are various minority Celtic languages, and speakers of these are invariably bilingual English speakers. In Scotland, 1.4% speak Scottish Gaelic, as well as English. In Northern Ireland, 6.6% of the population are bilingual in Irish Gaelic and English. In Wales, 21% also speak Welsh. Welsh is the only Celtic language that enjoys official status. In Scotland, Northern Ireland, and some border areas of England, Scots is a distinct minority language, although at times it overlaps with Scottish English. There are also large numbers of community languages brought into the country and sustained by recent immigrant communities, which account for more than 5.5% of the population. The largest group are South Asian languages such as Bengali, Punjabi, Hindi, and Gurwada. Other community languages include Italian, Polish, Greek, and Turkish. 45% of the total ethnic minority population lives in London, but community languages are spoken throughout the United Kingdom. There are 7 social classes in the UK. The first is elite. This is the wealthiest and most privileged group in the UK. They went to private schools and elite universities and enjoy high cultural activities. Second is the established middle class. This second wealthiest of all class groups. They work in traditional professions and socialize with a wide variety of people. They take part in a wide variety of cultural activities. Third is the technical middle class. This is a small, distinctive, and prosperous new class group. They prefer emerging cultures such as social media and mix mainly among themselves. They come from middle class backgrounds. Fourth is the new affluent workers. These people are economically secure without being well off. This class group is sociable, has lots of cultural interest, and sits in the middle of all the groups in terms of wealth. They are likely to come from working class backgrounds. Fifth, traditional working class. This group is the oldest average age. They are likely to own their own homes. They mix among themselves and don't enjoy emerging culture. Sixth is the emergent service workers. These young people have high social and cultural capital, so they know people from all walks of life and enjoy a wide range of cultural activities, but are not financially secure. Seventh is the precariat, the poorest and most deprived social group. They tend to mix socially with people like themselves and do not have a broad range of cultural interest. More than 80% rent their homes. Hofstede cultural data tells us a lot about the UK. Concerning power distance, at 35, Britain sits in the lower rankings of PDI and believes that inequalities amongst people should be minimized. Individualism, at a score of 89, the British are a highly individualist and private people. Masculinity, at 66, Britain is the masculine society, highly success-oriented and driven, very competitive. Critical to understanding the British is being able to read between the lines. What is said is not always meant. Uncertainty avoidance. At 35, the UK has a low score on uncertainty avoidance, which means that as a nation, they are quite happy to wake up not knowing what the day brings and are happy to make it up as they go along. Long-term orientation. With an immediate score of 51, this dimension, a dominant preference in British culture, cannot be determined. Indulgence. A high score of 69 indicates that British culture is one of the that is classified as indulgent. People in societies classified by a high score in indulgence generally exhibit a willingness to realize their impulses and desires with regard to enjoying life and having fun. There are many similarities in the Tromponiers' cultural data between the US and the UK. The only differences I have found are achieved and ascribed, where the United States is higher, and in individualism and collectivism, where the United States is also higher.
We're going to look at technology as it pertains to the UK. We will look at the percentage of GDP that the United Kingdom spends on research and development. Research and development can increase technological innovation and help boost the economy. As seen on the graph, the US spends more money on research and development than the UK does every year. We will also take a look at the Networked Readiness Index. The index ranks the United Kingdom as number 8 on the 2015 report, with an overall score of 5.6. It is ranked number 4 in individual usage and number 6 in social impacts. Next, we will discuss intellectual property by looking at the number of patents and trademark applications from residents in the United Kingdom. According to the graph, there's been a decline in both patent and trademark applications by residents in the past couple of years, compared to the US, who has seen a significant increase in applications. Patents provide protection for inventions to the owner for a limited period, and this declining trend may obstruct the UK's technological competitiveness in the international markets. In the case of scientific and technical journals, there have been a slight increase in the number of journals that has been published every year. We will now look at the environment as it relates to the United Kingdom. The 2016 Yale Environment Performance Index ranks the UK as 12th in the world. It's scored at number 4 in water resources and number 12 in biodiversity and habitats. The most significant improvement has been in air quality, as the UK has been taking steps to reduce air pollution and also tackle climate change. The US, on the other hand, ranks at number 26, surpassing the UK only in air quality, fisheries, and agriculture. Next, we're going to take a look at the legal system of the United Kingdom. Just like the US, the UK has a common law system. At the top is the Supreme Court, which hears appeals from courts in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Underneath are the civil and criminal courts, both of which have courts of appeal. The criminal division has the Crown Court and magistrate courts, while the civil division has the high and county courts. Finally, we're going to talk about the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that the United Kingdom may face. There are a number of strengths ranging from having an advantageous trading position to foreign direct investments. The UK is the number 2 destination for investments coming from emerging markets after the US. Some of the weaknesses are its low levels of research and development compared to the US and other parts of Europe, and also its elevated housing prices. Some of the opportunities that the UK has are new trade partners due to more lenient trade rules coming up all over Europe, Middle East, and Asia. The UK can also invest in the technology industry if it cannot create a booming industry like the US has. The threats that the UK may face include worker business relocation. UK's overcrowded, expensive cost of living may have people and businesses considering going somewhere else with a lower overhead cost. The UK may also face the threat of increased competition and financial crisis.